December snow blanketing much of the Midwest and Northeast. What a perfect time to be in the Sunshine State as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The punter Logan Cook set to start the proceedings, and we are underway here in Jacksonville. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage is?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board, and they're able to avoid that 3 and out. Running the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they've run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
The kick by Marr is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Fields it right around the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now Lawrence. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he's got room. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. Christian Kirk, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Prescott stripped, and the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads, and you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
Yeah, 5 turnovers last week, now 1 here in the opening quarter.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. The kick by Piñeiro is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the fumble recovery hadn't set up an ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Prescott on first down. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Here's Johnson with a reception. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
Time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. That's his first catch of the game and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Play action now, Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Deontay Johnson, 36 yards. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from evening this one up. And now it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd down. Lawrence. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. His first catch of the game. Good for 11 and a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
If your sympathies lie with the defense, you understand how tough it is for linebackers to run with a guy like this. He's going to slip out of the backfield and work in the middle of the field. And sometimes those defenders get preoccupied with other people moving, and he finds open space and makes a nice play.
Lawrence going to throw again. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. The Jaguars had 4-9 now on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he is going to have a Jags first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. On 1st and 10, it's ETN. Down to about the 22 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling him for a loss.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. This one caught by Ridley. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Probably helps your confidence level on those 4th down sneaks to have a quarterback as tall as he is.
Yeah, you're talking about being able to extend at the end to make sure the ball gets to the first down marker, but also he has to be able to drop his hips and get down behind that offensive line in order to move forward, because if he just runs it straight up and down, you and I both know that they'll snap him backwards. Well done there, well executed.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. ETN up the middle. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And they'll go again with ETN. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They're going to run the jet sweep on 3rd down. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
This is up and good from Guignon. And the lead grows to 4. It's 13-9. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with him trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Play action. Prescott. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. Second time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Prescott now. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing, Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To the air again, Prescott. That's caught again by Schultz. Oh, he's going to be brought down there in the field of play. And the clock will run, no timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This fielded right at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lawrence. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Osa Odighizuwa with the effort there to earn the sack.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Cowboys. 39 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in this third quarter. This time, the extra point up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in at the goal line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
On the stick. 2-18,
on 2nd down, a run with Etienne. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Josh Allen, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Pollard will take this into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 16. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out and in a hurry.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Pollard again. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. And there'll be a break in the action here because Prescott is going to use a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 4th down, Prescott goes off, and on comes the Cowboy kicker, Brett Maher, for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good, and the lead will hold at 10.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 7 yards there and a 1st down. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Etienne on the toss right. And he'll work down inside the 45. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down.
Ready, Britt.
Here's Lawrence. He'll air this one out for Kirk. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And they will not cut into that 10-point lead. And that one, an absolute backbreaker. A chance to get back within a score. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, that one went begging, as they say, right? There's the opportunity, and it was missed. But all hope's not lost just yet. But, boy, getting back within one score would have been a power.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a defensive player
under pressure, and they got to him again. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And the pressure gets to him again. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. So nothing doing there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, ETN once more. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. This offense so far on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Yeah.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. Over the middle. That's caught by Ridley. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for Dallas, their battle to finish above 500 gets a slight lift as they move to 6-8 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium.